What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we are reviewing this brand new E-Ride Pro SS. This is pretty much the hottest new model that everybody's been waiting for us to review. If you're new here, we're the Talaria boys. We test all these lightweight e-motos. We have lots of bikes ourselves and we've pretty much tried everything out right now. So we're super excited to get this unboxed, get it assembled, and head out and test it against all the other competitors to see if this one is worth the money and see if it really stands up to the hype, because there is a lot of hype right now. All right guys, as we get this unboxed, let's go over a couple of specs. So this bike costs $4,900. It is a 72 volt battery and it's supposedly supposed to go 60 miles an hour, which is super fast, faster than any other bike in this price point. This bike also has a huge 40 amp hour battery, which is bigger than any other model around. So we're super excited to do a range test on it. Also, if there's anything we missed in this video, any questions you guys have, drop us a comment. We'll be sure to answer it. And again, we have more videos coming. Let's get this unboxed, cue the music. Okay guys, drag race time. Reed is on the E-Ride Pro SS. Grant is on the totally stock Talaria Sting R, and I am on the 79 bike Falcon M. These are the three kings of the small e-bike world right now. So let's get it on, do a drag race, see what happens. I'm on the Falcon, Talaria Sting R, E-Ride Pro SS. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, he's pulling!
Oh my gosh! I don't know if you could see, but the E-Ride Pro definitely won that.
Oh, there's Grant!
Dude, E-Ride Pro smoked the other ones.
Dude, I spun for a good 5 seconds.
You turned sideways. You were like,
Yeah,
you didn't stay
then
straight.
I was gone. This thing feels amazing.
Well, as far as first impressions go, we are pretty dang happy. You guys saw that drag race. That's our first initial testing. We've been riding it around a little bit, and so far it feels really, really good, and it feels really, really fast. Throttle response is really good. It feels good to wheelie. Let's talk about the specs, and then we're gonna do more testing, more drag races, do a top speed run with our GPS cycling computer, and then we're gonna hit the trail, head out on a real ride, and actually see how it holds up. Okay, so first off, we have a 72 volt 40 amp hour battery, which is really the biggest of any bike around this price point, bigger than Talaria, bigger than Sur-Ron, bigger than the 79 bike right here. So that's super impressive. As far as power goes, this bike is running more than all the competition as well. E-Ride Pro listened to their customers. If you guys saw some previous videos on this bike, people were running 8 kilowatts continuous, and then there was a turbo button that would boost you up to 12 kilowatts for about 10 seconds. Now they've updated the controller so the turbo button is pretty much gone, and sport mode just lets you peek into the power whenever you need it. There still is a turbo button that's supposed to give you just a little extra for about 5 seconds, but we really didn't notice very much difference. There really is a ton of power in sport mode. Like, it feels genuinely way faster than a Talaria Sting R and then the 79 bike Falcon M, which is kind of right with that Talaria. All right, going over the rest of the bike, we have a really nice display here that shows your miles per hour in the middle, also has a trip meter, and it's got the time, whichever mode you're in, sport, turbo, or eco, and then it's got your battery percentage right here. We have our little gauge here. You can switch between eco and sport. These are gonna be your regen settings, and then you've got your horn. So far the brakes are feeling really good. They do have 220 mil rotors, and the calipers look larger than any other bike of this size that we've tried. So we're excited to kind of keep using those, try them out on the trail. They do feel like they have more power at this point. Our tires are pretty standard as far as these e-motos come. Like this is your standard CST in the front. They're also running the exact same tire in the rear, which is a little disappointing. I think that is a very small tire for the amount of power that this bike has. I think if you were purchasing this, you would definitely want to spend some money, get better tires front and back. As far as suspension goes, we have RST suspension front and rear. We haven't had a great experience with RST in the past. Like they had that Killa fork that was on a lot of Surons and Talarias. That fork really is not super nice. So far, this is a very different model. It is an inverted fork where the Killa is like a downhill mountain bike style. This does have more adjustment than that did, and so far it feels good, and it is reacting to the changes where it actually does feel different when you change the settings. So rear shock, kind of same situation. We do have preload up at the top, and then we have rebound right here. This bike does have a linkage. A lot of people couldn't see the linkage in the photos, so it does have a very unique kind of style linkage down in there. It feels okay. We'll have to really give it a test out on the trail. The street just isn't a good place for that. Overall, fit and finish is nice. Like they've got nice plastics here. They're very stiff and sturdy. Nice fender. The seat is really nice. This bike is wider than a Suron. Feels very similar to like a Sting-R width, which a lot of people like, me included. Let's open up the battery compartment here. First off, the latch is very nice. Like this is very heavy duty, thick plastic, stiffer than pretty much every other e-bike I've seen. We do have a very similar style connection system to a Suron, little cleaner looking. You've got your battery kind of light display here to kind of give you a rough idea of your percentage. You got your breaker in there, pretty similar setup, charger on the side here. The quoted top speed of this bike is 60 miles an hour. So that's slightly hard to believe for me, but we're gonna throw our GPS cycling computer on here and we're gonna go actually test it. Before we do that though, this bike has a 300-pound weight limit, and they quote the bike as 139 pounds, which feels pretty light. So now we're gonna head into the garage, throw it up on our hanging scale, see how it does. Well, you guys, I don't know what else to say except for that I am very surprised at the weight of this bike. And it's surprised in a good way because, well, to compare it to some other models real quick, we weighed a totally stock Talari Sting-R on this same scale, 151 pounds. We weighed our 79 bike Falcon M, totally stock, and it was 142 pounds, so quite a bit lighter. This bike that has more power and a larger capacity battery weighs only 137.8 pounds. That is super impressive. I honestly was not expecting that in any way. So we're super excited to get this out on the road and see what it feels like, because that's a pretty good weight. We'll have to see if how supportive and beefy the frame feels, see if it flexes at all. That's awesome. Okay, running it back, round two. Falcon M in the middle, E-Ride Pro SS, stock Talari Sting-R. 3, 2, 1, go! There goes the E-Ride Pro. Sting-R is right on me, neck and neck. Oh, he's passing slowly. That E-Ride Pro is fast, you guys. It really is fast.
So there's no doubt about it that this goes way quicker.
That was crazy. I even had to let off at the beginning because I was wheeling, and then I was gone.
Yeah, and for reference, we weigh the exact same, 185 pounds. Super impressive. Like, this and the Sting-R are very, very close. Like, you could probably call them neck and neck any day of the week. Yep. That is faster. All those drags were just straight up in sport mode. We'll hit turbo, but it doesn't feel any different. So I think they've pretty much just unlocked sport to be turbo. Which is awesome. Because we don't like turbo buttons. I think it's just kind of a waste. Like, just put it in sport mode and let it do its thing.
This bike, so far, is amazing.
Very impressive.
It's a good bike. Throttle feels really good, wheelie's really good. I'm not gonna crash this time.
All right, we need to talk about the price. So as it sits right here, E-Ride Pro SS, $4,900. 79 bike Falcon M, $4,500. And Talaria Sting-R, $4,500. So in our opinions, these are the only three bikes you guys should be considering in this price category. They're all a little different, but they're also all very similar. So far, this bike is the most expensive, but it feels significantly faster, so that is probably going to warrant the extra money. As we take it out on the ride and test the top speed, we'll really be able to know, is this bike actually that much faster? Does it hold a charge? how does the battery last, and really give it a run for its money. So now let's go test that top speed, head out on a ride, see how it does. Okay, Alex is coming, testing the top speed. Just to reemphasize, this bike is supposed to go 60 miles an hour, which is 10 miles an hour faster than these two bikes right here go. So let's see how he does. So what'd you hit on the display?
So right here I hit 61 miles per hour, and that would be impressive, but the max speed I got on this is 56.4. So we're definitely not hitting that 60 miles per hour mark that they're quoting, but you are quite a bit faster than the Sting R and the 79 bike.
Yeah, that's still way higher on any stock bike than we've seen, especially around this price point. Okay, so with that top speed, 56, that is 4 miles an hour faster than a stock Talaria Sting R, so it is a little bit faster. We also really trust this cycling computer. We test it against our phone GPSs and other things, and we use it to test all our stuff. Super accurate. Maybe at some point we'll be able to get 60 miles an hour. Maybe they do a firmware update. Not quite getting it today. I wonder, because it has a huge 58 tooth rear sprocket, which is really high gearing, I wonder if we could gear it down a little bit and be able to hit that number and lose a little bit of torque at the same time. I don't know. It's something we might test in our next video.
Let's go hit the trails.
Okay, here we go. We're just gonna start off straight up in sport mode. I'm gonna put regen to the max. We've got 3 levels here. Wow, honestly it is fast. Like, this is a fast bike, and so far the throttle feels really nice too. It's definitely bigger than a Sur-Ron, and it's larger than that 79 bike Falcon M. It is very similar size to a Talaria, which is just slightly bigger than those other models. They're all very close though. But as someone who's 6'3", I do feel a little more comfortable on this bike. I will say this bike is quite loud. Cruising at 45 miles an hour roughly. I mean, that's pretty fast for cruising, but it's pretty loud because the motor is just spun up really high because it has a 58 tooth sprocket. I really would be curious to gear this down a little bit, maybe a 54 tooth sprocket, even like a 50 tooth. Just see how it feels. Some bikes really need a huge sprocket to have as much torque as they need to get you up the hill, just based on the other gearing and what kind of motor they're running. It's just fun to kind of experiment with different things, but right out of the box, this thing is fast. Like, really, it is fast. It is significantly faster than those other 2 bikes. It really is, but I mean, you guys can kind of listen, like, that's loud. But I'm doing 49 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour up this really steep road. The regen is strong. I can feel that just letting off the throttle. All right, let's get on this trail. Wow, you guys, wow. This thing is fast. I can definitely tell that these tires are small. Like, they are too small for the power that this bike has. And if you are buying this bike, you need to upgrade these tires if you're riding off-road. The brakes are very confidence-inspiring. They are very impressive. The torque is there. It is definitely there. The only thing that's not confidence-inspiring is those tires. So I'm ripping, but I'm kind of staying a little softer on these corners, not quite laying it over quite so hard. The throttle feels really nice, you guys. Really nice. We've got all the torque, and it just keeps pulling. Now I can hear a little bit of rattling towards the back of the bike. Let me just stop and just wiggle a few things because I can feel some rattling. I do think that the chain hits right here over and over and over again when it's not under tension. So anytime you're coasting and it's bouncing, that is kind of making some noise. Other than that, our battery is not loose in there, so that's awesome. Talaria batteries rattle a lot, so you have to shim them, and it's really annoying. This bike rallies, dude. I actually really like the geometry as well. The suspension feels good. Okay, let's try some steep downhill here. The geometry feels good. I'm used to riding a 21-inch front wheel on my Talaria, a little bit bigger. I like it for going downhill, especially because I'm so tall. I think this could really benefit from that, but the geometry feels good. These brakes are very good for a stock bike. They really are. The bike feels light and flickable. Okay, let's go up this climb. We're at 62% battery. Holy cow, we got tons of torque. I'm nowhere even near full throttle. It's pretty rocky though. I can just pop the front end up anytime I need. Whoa! Tons of torque, tons of power. Jeez. I really do not need this big of a sprocket. You could totally gear this bike down and you could probably get 60 mile an hour top speed and just lose a little bit of torque that you don't need. I'm telling you guys, you don't need all this torque from this 58. Dang. Wow, you guys, I'm really impressed. I am really impressed. For $4,900, this thing's a rocket ship. Seriously, rocket ship.
Okay, Lance just got off of the bike and would not stop talking about how good this thing is, so I'm excited to try it on the trail now. Dude, the power delivery is so good. You just have so much power right there that the tire just starts to spin out as soon as you get on it. Oh, I'm losing traction though. That is one thing that I think they need to do. Definitely go with a bigger tire in the rear. I think that with the amount of power that this bike has, if you put 1821 wheels on this thing, it would rip. The traction would be crazy and it would still pick up top speed fast and still hit that 57 miles an hour. The suspension on this bike feels pretty dang good. It feels comparable to the 79 bike or the Sting R. This may look like a crappy dirt road, but I'm rolling over some bigger rocks and kind of putting it through its paces a little bit. I'm doing it fast. Dude, brakes feel nice. I'm sliding into corners. Definitely more powerful brakes than any other stock ones that I've tried. Guys, the throttle feels very smooth, and just the way the power kicks in, very smooth and manageable. You'd think that with a ton of power on the bike, it's hard to manage, but this is fairly easy. Okay, going downhill now. Kind of gnarly trails. This bike is taking it. I think this bike is very competitively priced. It is going to be a little bit more expensive than the Sting R and 79 bike, but with that more expensive price, you get a lot more power and speed, but a lot of the parts on the bike feel very similar to the Sting R and the 79 bike. Guys, I'm saying it right now, right out of the box, I'm definitely going with this bike over the Sting R or 79 bike, or frankly any other bike that I've ridden, because this thing is insane. And I'm not just saying that. We're not paid to make this video and say good things about this bike. We were gifted this bike to make a video on and give our real thoughts and opinions on it. And there's not much wrong with it at all.
All right, we need to talk about really quick who this bike is for. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the competition. It does have more power though, but who needs to be buying this? If you are someone who wants to upgrade your bike to the max, this is not ready yet. There's not enough aftermarket upgrades to be able to do the things you want to do. There's some stuff you can do, but Talaria Sting, in our opinion, is still the king of upgrades. We prefer it over a Sur-Ron, even to upgrade. This has everything you can want to do to it available. And our favorite thing is still the gearbox. All these companies are coming with belt drives right here. 79 bike is, this bike is, Sur-Ron is. We just don't like them as much as a gearbox. They are lighter. It's a lighter system. It's a little bit easier system, but this is so smooth when you ride it. It's smooth and quiet. So we're not trying to bag on eRide Pro here. This is a fantastic bike. You really get a great value for what you're paying. But if you're the person that wants to upgrade your bike to the max, it's not ready yet. But if you're the guy that wants to buy a bike right out of the box you're gonna be super happy with, this is the bike, $4,900. We're gonna have a few minor upgrades that you can do to it for cheap, but that's who this is for. and it is going to be awesome for you. All right, you guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up our video on the eRide Pro SS. We didn't really mention, but if you guys haven't heard of eRide Pro, they're a new company kind of in this space. They also have a 17-inch, little bit smaller e-motor to this out already, and then they also have some other models that we've heard about coming soon. Super promising. They've been a good company to work with. We're excited for what they come out with in the future and to keep testing the eRide Pro. So far, we're super impressed. We do have more videos coming on it, so stay tuned for those. We're going to be doing like a first cheat mods. This bike doesn't need much, but a few things would make a big difference on it, and so we'll get into that in a future video. We also would love to do a range test because this has the big battery. So far, it's holding up pretty good. More to come, you guys. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas. We will be publishing this video pretty much either Christmas morning or Christmas Eve. So it's the holidays, you guys. If you're looking to purchase a bike, just do it. You will have a blast out riding. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next video. See ya.